How strong are movies that haven't been blown to the skies yet? At the age of 8, she became an S-class killer, able to decompose all objects into particles out of thin air, and then refactor it randomly. His IQ is actually as high as 318. The girl in front of me is called 1. She lives on an ordinary farm. Father is already old. She not only needs to help take care of the livestock on the farm, and I have to take care of my seriously ill mother. This day, Zia and her classmate Xiaomei got on the school bus as usual. Xiaomei talks and laughs, but Zia seems a bit unhappy. Just then, Xiaomei handed her phone to Zia's phone. The video showed an advertisement for a talent show, and the winner announced will receive a prize of 500 million won. Hear this news. From the moment I felt like I saw hope, because if we get this money, not only can it provide milk and feed to the farm, you can also pay for your mother's medical expenses. Under the instigation of Xiaomei, I have signed up for a talent show since then. Things rely on bad looks and calm demeanor. Zia unexpectedly won the first place, qualifying to participate in competitions in Seoul. Go home. 4. One's parents are all sitting in front of the TV, appreciating the tear on TV. They all praised Sue's excellent singing voice, but tear it apart the next second. The parents' expressions began to become apparent. Here, on the TV screen, we are currently broadcasting a magical talent performance on the program. Purple Yi unexpectedly suspended the microphone in her hand in midair out of thin air. The audience was stunned, just when both Zia's mother and Xiaomei were amazed by the magic of magic. On the side, Zia's father remained silent. On the face, there is actually a lot of worry. 2 girls ran wildly towards the train gate, finally got on the train to Seoul. Just seated, Xiaomei began to indulge in Zia's dream of becoming a celebrity. The man across from me laughed as he listened. This is clearly mocking their childishness. What appeared in front of them was a handsome man. Next moment, I will captivate Xiaomei. The man's words and actions seem strange. The man seems to know Zia, the assets in his mouth, a witch named Jian Zi did not respond. The man reached out his hand again. Start exploring. But the driver still hasn't responded. Instead, I was scared into tears, appearing very weak and small, amidst the crowd in the carriage. The man had to leave, temporarily. Never seen such a polite uncle bump into someone before. Not only does he not apologize, and slapped it in the face, but he never thought of it. A boy who appears to be gentle and elegant. Actually, it's a top killer. After the game ends, Zia unexpectedly won the first place. Mui and Xiaomei have just returned to their hometown. But what surprised Zia was that he unexpectedly met Xia Shuai again. Xiaosui is clearly coming towards him. At first glance, Xiaosui realized that the newcomers were not kind, not congenial to words. Xiaosui begins to verbally threaten Kishi's family. Zia doesn't seem to understand what he's talking about. After the man left, only then did Zia understand. I saw Zia running home quickly. When Zia rushed into the house, only then did I realize that it was the staff at home who tripped. Father's playing chess with friends. Seeing both parents safe, the heart hanging Purple finally let go. Purple Clothes, who couldn't sleep at night, suddenly felt like someone was breaking in. He got up carefully to check. He just stepped out of the room. A pistol was aimed at him. Looking around in a blink of an eye, Xiaomei was also held hostage by them, with a knife on her neck. The other party seems to know Zia, and calls Zia the witch. The leading man sees Purple Clothes, not admitting one's identity, so he started ordering his men to cut Xiaomei's neck. At a critical moment, the weak Purple Clothes burst out unexpectedly. Purple Clothes looked like a different person. I saw his skills become agile. He quickly grabbed the pistol, killed the assassin on the other side first, and then he solved the 2 assassins downstairs. Successfully saved Xiaomei's leading brother, who had just won the game. At this moment, he was also punched one by one in the face by angry Zizi. As soon as everyone is resolved, the handsome man hiding behind the scenes walked out from downstairs. Looking at what just happened, Xiaosui reconfirmed Purple Clothes, that girl who escaped from the organization back then. At this moment, Zia is also unable to hide her identity. For the safety of family, I followed them back to the organizational capital for the first time. A few people tied it to a chair. His expression looked a bit panicked. Just then, a woman in the control room is watching everything in front of her through surveillance footage. You absolutely don't know how gentle Korean girls can be. This boy just didn't give him a thumbs up. Result: everyone calls him Dr. Bai. Not much to say. Dr. Bai began ordering his subordinates to inject Zia with an injection. At first, I felt a great deal of pain. Various memory fragments began to flash in the brain. Then Zia was given a second injection. This stitch seems to have alleviated Zia's pain. Dr. Bai looked at his masterpiece with satisfaction. Who would have thought that the cross still showed a smile? It turns out that Zia is not really amnesia. When he was a child, he was treated as an experimental subject by Dr. Bai, obtained powerful superpowers. After he escaped from the organization, was adopted by a farm couple. Bai thought he could live an ordinary life. But as the body grows, he slowly realized that his body was beginning to show defects. And my life is not long. In order to find a cure, he had to intentionally expose his superpowers on television. This will lead to Dr. Bai. Sure enough, as he expected, Dr. Bai not only proactively came to his door and injected him with life-saving medication. When everyone understands, I went to Zia. It was already too late at that time. The base is starting to become chaotic. Zia, who escaped from the prison cell, brought down several security guards. At this moment, Dr. Bai was already scared out of his wits. In order to obtain more drug injections, he didn't just kill him, he just dragged on. Dr. Bai began to search for medicine. I didn't expect to be ambushed by Xiaoshui midway. Zia slowly stood up. Xiaoshui starts to provoke. He thinks his combat ability is above Zia, but the next second, Zia will rub against the wall. Xiaoshui broke free from constraints and began to launch an attack. The Zia can always walk away a few times a second faster than him. Round down. Xiaoshui is already covered in bruises. Just when Zia wants to solve him, a bullet hit him in the back. Coming from behind him is Mr. Sui from the organization. At first, Dr. Bai thought he was saved. Who knew that Mr. Sui, based on his position, solved him with one shot? Just as Mr. Sui finished resolving everyone, Zia miraculously stood up. He clearly underestimated the combat effectiveness of Zia. Soon, Mr. Sui also received the boxed lunch. Zia is preparing to leave, but the lucky little handsome wants to launch another surprise attack. Surprisingly, Xiaoshui not only failed, I also received a boxed lunch myself. After receiving the medicine, Zia arrived at the hospital. I saw that he left the medicine in his hand to his mother, whose condition worsened, and I only left two to instruct my father. Remember to give your mother an injection. Since the beginning we have embarked on the path of finding more drugs. Although Zia has acquired superpowers, but he just wants to be an ordinary person. For over a decade, he dare not reveal his identity. When family members are in danger, he had to release himself to protect his family. It can be seen that there is still a hint of kindness in his heart.